Hi guys, 15-week pregnancy diary today. I just woke up, puffy face. So 15 weeks, well technically I'm actually just turned 16 weeks, so this video is a little bit late. But for the past week, I have been feeling so great. Especially because my husband's been letting me sleep in the mornings. Yay! Because I think that the pregnancy fatigue has kind of kicked in now. Because it just feels heavier. My belly feels heavier. And I'm finding myself just feeling really fatigued kind of later on in the day. So what I've been doing is I've been napping with my son. And then my husband... Oh my gosh, that was yawn. My husband's been waking up with Bodhi. Usually I get up with him, and he's been waking up with him from 7 to 8, so I get to sleep until 8. And that's been really lovely and such a good supportive husband thing to do. And I just had a good friend give birth. She had a home birth with her third child, a little boy. And that was here in Adelaide, and her story was so beautiful, and it was just such a magical story, and it was really exciting just to hear about that. So again, I've just been thinking a lot about the birth and thinking about the idea of having 2 babies. I know my little Bodhi, he's going to be 2 years, 9 months when the baby comes, and so that would be interesting just to mention the age gap thing. I think I always envisioned my children being a little closer in age together, but because of my extended breastfeeding, it just organically happened this way. And now, from everything that I've been looking at and just seeing my son's development and just his language is so just wonderful. He can really express himself and his emotions, and we can talk about anything, and he talks to me in full sentences about his feelings, and it seems like he really understands the concept of a new baby coming. I've been showing him so many videos. We watched the birth of his birth video together. And I was explaining that that's what's going to happen with our baby, and he calls the baby his baby, which I think is a really good sign. And yeah, so I've just been thinking about that and just kind of what that age gap's going to look like. And I love it because I know he's going to be a little bit more independent, and I'm excited about that. And I think if my plan is going to be just to really involve him in the care, taking care of his baby brother, and just making sure he's around when mummy's feeding and when we have to change the nappies and all those sorts of things, and baths, having them bath together. And so any other advice in the comments would be amazing. If you have a similar age gap, I'd love to hear how you transitioned your older child into being now a big brother or a big sister. That would be amazing to hear. So I've been thinking a lot about that this week. Also in 15 weeks, I've just been resting a little bit more, and everything, yeah, like I said, everything feels heavier. About 120 pounds now. I don't know what that is in kilos, sorry. So I've put on about 6 pounds. I was almost 121, so almost 7 pounds. And I looked back and I'm actually pretty on track with how I was with Bodhi. Just really organically, I haven't been overeating. I've been eating exactly the amount of food I've been wanting to eat. My diet's less clean than it was last time, for sure. I'm eating a lot of pizza, hence the puffy face. a lot of pizza, a lot of big heavy carbs, and it's kind of what I've been craving. So yeah, I've been feeling really good. I've been playing tennis a lot, which has been nice just to get a little bit more active. As I said a couple of videos ago, I think I just hadn't been focused at all on fitness. So now I've been doing a little bit more of that. So that's been really great. And just having fun here in Adelaide with my friends and celebrating, and now I'm starting to wear, instead of wearing like the baggier clothes, I'm wearing form-fitting clothes, so now I can show off my belly, and that's been really nice. And I've just been thinking about, you know, whipping out all my maternity clothes from Bodhi. They're stored somewhere in Los Angeles. And that's been really lovely, and I've been doing a lot of play dates and going to the park here in Adelaide and seeing so many pregnant mamas and babies and just getting really excited. I've been starting to read the Birth Without Fear blog, which I love. If anyone hasn't read that, it's an amazing blog. It's about empowering women and encouraging women with their impending births, and it's positive, beautiful, loving birth stories. And I was having a conversation with my best friend Kat, who just gave birth to a baby girl 3 weeks ago. She's the one that had the water birth in the hospital. She was saying that, you know, in her experience, she came across so many women who are so quick to tell the negative stories surrounding birth. Oh, this happened to me. This was awful. This was just the most horrendous thing. It was so painful. I couldn't wait to have an epidural. I couldn't wait for this. I couldn't wait. She said it was really interesting in her preparation for birth how she had to drown out some of those stories so that she could really have her own experience with her own journey without letting the fear creep in. And I'm really hyper aware and sensitive to, you know, women sharing their stories, but I think it's just something to look at when you're sharing your own personal story with a pregnant woman. Remember to empower them and tell them there were peaks, there were valleys, there was so many challenges, but it was all beautiful because it led me to my child. And then after they've had the baby, after they've had their own experience and they've got their own conclusions about how their story went, then if you want to get in and share like, oh my God, this was crazy, this was so insane, this was really hard, then do that. But I think pregnant women in particular in their last trimester, they really need a band of other women who have done it, been through it, who can tell them, you got this, like you got this. You don't necessarily have to lie and say it's easy, but just say that it's a natural process that our bodies go through. And, you know, my greatest advice for people giving birth is just, I guess my key word is surrender, is this idea of surrendering into all that your body needs to do to bring this baby down the birth canal. And I remember during my birth, anytime I would tense up, even if it was my toes curling over, the intensity of the contraction was a lot stronger. But when I was totally fluid, and I kept imagining water just like coming in and coming out. And I said it was when I dipped into being in flow with the birth, and I just opened up to it. That's when I found them so manageable, the contractions, that I actually got to the point where I would welcome the contractions, because I also knew they were one step closer to me holding my son. And I really just kind of rode them like waves. And looking back on my birth, I found it really manageable. I really did. And I think those positive stories are what women need to feel uplifted during the last couple of months, even during the second trimester. So it's nice, I think, to keep that in mind. And luckily, that's all I have around me. I haven't really had any of those negative stories poking in again. But it is interesting to think about the idea of doing that again, doing that all again, and, you know, starting slowly to prepare myself for that journey. I think that's been really interesting. Okay, I'll do a belly shot. Oh my god, my hips are like getting so old. Okay, here is the 15-week morning belly. This is the morning, so it does get a bit bigger during the day. I don't know where these came from. I was like, wait, when did I have these muscles? Anyway, and that's that. Hello, Mr. 15 weeks. Actually, technically 16 weeks now. All right, guys. Well, sending love, and I'll see you next week. Bye.